Hello and welcome to week 15, the last module, where there's really not that much to turn in terms of number of assignments, but the types of assignments you're submitting are very integral to your success in the course. They count for a lot. And this week is all about revision, and polish. So even if it's not your job to create the revision planning slides or to upload the final draft of the recommendation report, it's up to the entire group to decide on how and what on the report needs to be strengthened. You should mostly focus on having a 15 meeting, reviewing feedback from various resources, uploading the final draft, thinking about participation and grading, and I will share with you my last thoughts and extra credit assignments. I suggest hosting a 15 meeting. The meetings are never required, but in the past, teams who have not met or have met inconsistently, or only two team members were showing up for meetings, their projects were not as successful as other groups who were able to find time to meet every week and discuss their project. And this is the last time you should be meeting. As usual, discuss what you wish, but I suggest discussing who's in charge of editing the text for the presentation, who's in charge of checking that links and videos work. In particular, the video that someone in your team created outlining the problem. On your report, it shouldn't be a link taking someone outside of the report for that. Ideally, it should be an embedded video. If you don't know how to do this, then upload your video wherever you made it, upload it to YouTube, and then you can get that embed code. Decide who's in charge of checking the validity of the captions. Make sure they're adhering to the APA and MLA standards we've already practiced in class. You can look them up on the Understanding Concepts section from past modules, but that's the kind of caption I want to see, the ones that we already have practiced, not something else that you look up from a website and you can't decide how to do it. Decide who's going to check the in-text citations, the reference or works cited page, who is in charge of uploading the final presentation link or transmittal letter that has the link, and what date does your group anticipate having all of this finished? Maybe have the same people who created each section revise their sections, or switch it up and assign different people to revise different parts of the report that they didn't create, and maybe they'll catch things the creator missed. If you have a 15 meeting, there are some other things to think about. You have several avenues of feedback to explore to strengthen your report, starting with comments from peers on the discussion board. If you finish the peer review for project 4, comments you'll get from me via the collective feedback file, comments you're going to get from tutors if you submitted your text and pictures, the parts that you completed of the recommendation report. If you submitted that to a Smart Thinking tutor and got feedback, you can review that and see what they said. Okay. Though these resources are all helpful, don't rely on them. Revision is a process, and as I've said before, it's not paint by numbers. The resources I've mentioned are not providing a list of things to tick off and then be done with. You should also review the report with a critical eye towards how the flip can I make this better. I will post the CFF on 11/22 or 11/23. You and your team should review it before or during the 15 meeting, making sure to review your presentation in tandem. Then pull up the assignment guidelines and holistic scoring on USF rights while reviewing your presentation. This way you can check to see if your draft meets expectations using a checklist of sorts, discussing possible revisions with teammates. You're discussing and proposing changes to the presentation because not only will this improve your project and grade for the final, but whoever was assigned the task of revision planning slides needs this sort of list to create their PowerPoint. It should outline changes to the recommendation report with detail. Avoid using statements that are abstract, like will proofread. Tell me which sections need proofreading, because as you can see from the assignment guidelines, you need 2 slides to outline each major section of the report. And if you bring up the assignment guidelines, you remember there's several sections of the report, like problem, implementation, solution. You're going to first create a slide that summarizes the key points in that section of the report. So you're kind of just regurgitating bullet point format, very simplistic. What is the purpose of that section and what did you and your group cover? And then the second slide is for the revisions. What revisions are you going to make to that particular map or implementation or problem section? After you're done with that, really just reviewing the copy of the major sections, then you're going to move on for an additional 2 slides for document design, where you're thinking about the pictures, captions, you could be thinking about color, those sorts of things. You're thinking about the aesthetics of the report and laying them out in one slide. And the second slide, you're listing every single thing that you and your team have decided would make the document design more effective for the presentation. So concerning the document design, you don't have to detail every section like you did for the text-based stuff. It can be a little shorter and more condensed. So only one team member needs to upload this assignment by 11/29. So ideally, your 15 meeting should take place before the state. If not, try to discuss via whatever group chat you've set up amongst yourselves. So your group member that needs to upload this has an idea of what to do. If you and your team don't meet and discuss it, you've still got to turn it in. If you're tasked with turning this in, you need to get it done, no excuses. I'm going to stop the video here and talk about day 2 stuff in a second.